I had a case where a child was riding their bike and was killed by a bus. Mm-hmm. And the mother was Korean, and the father was an American soldier that had retired from the Army and moved the family back here. In Korea, the culture is if there's a death in the family, regardless of who's responsible for that, it's a cultural expression of sympathy to send flowers or a note or acknowledgement. And of course, in our American system, when there's a potential lawsuit, people are advised to stay away, don't say anything. And during the course of this mediation, the mother learned, her obstacle was, he never, I believe it's an accident, but he never apologized. He never said he was sorry. He never approached us. Well, what she didn't know is that the driver of that bus actually came to the funeral, was on his way to approach the mother, and the teachers from the child's school, the deceased child's school, intervened and said, this is not the appropriate time and place. You should leave. And he had actually come with his father. His father had come with him to support him. He actually had a child the same age. Mm. So, he felt it very personally. Mm-hmm. And during the course of that mediation, when the mother learned mm-hmm. that he had been to the funeral, had mm-hmm. wanted to express sympathy, mm-hmm. and was told not to, and she mm-hmm. understood the reasons why the American lawyers were telling him not to admit liability and don't say anything, mm-hmm. She really had a breakthrough. And she mm-hmm. asked, it was the type of mediation where at the very beginning joint session, everybody mm-hmm. had tears in their eyes, including the defense counsel. It was mm-hmm. a highly emotional case. Mm-hmm. And
how did it come out? In other words, those aren't the facts that would typically be brought forward in the discussion of a accident case like that. How were they elicited?
Well, I typically ask people somewhere mm-hmm. through the mediation, what mm-hmm. do they want from this process? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And she was able to articulate that she wanted the decency of an apology. Mm-hmm. And I said, why is that so important mm-hmm. to you? It's been a few years, and mm-hmm. would you believe him anyway? I was exploring mm-hmm. her level of need for that apology. Mm-hmm. And then she explained what happens in Korea mm-hmm. and how this was just mm-hmm. an affront.
Was the bus driver at the mediation?
Absolutely.
Was there? He
was there.
So
there.
Isn't that unusual?
It was unusual, but this man had such a burden for the life he had taken that he really felt compelled to be there. Mm-hmm. His defense lawyer had told him, you don't really need to be here. He said, oh, yes, I do. So mm-hmm. during the course of the mediation, mm-hmm. When she learned that he had come, and I went back and said, she doesn't feel you've ever apologized. And then he said, well, I tried to. And to the surprise of everybody, including the defense lawyer, we learned that he had been at the funeral, his father had accompanied mm-hmm. him, the teachers had intervened, mm-hmm. and after she learned that, she asked me if she could meet alone mm-hmm. with the driver. Mm-hmm. And the lawyers did not want that to happen. Mm-hmm. So I asked her if it would be all right if I mm-hmm. joined them in the room. Mm-hmm. And she said yes. Mm-hmm. So I came in, and she went up to him immediately, gave him a hug, and said, I forgive you. That's powerful. Mm-hmm.